Tucker Carlson was immediately fired from Fox News after saying this.
The green M&M, you will notice, is no longer wearing sexy boots. Now she's wearing sensible sneakers. Why the change? Well, according to M&M's, quote, we all win when we see more women in leading roles. Because leading women do not wear sexy boots. Leading women wear frumpy shoes. The frumpier, the better. That's the rule. The other big change is that the brown M&M has, quote, transitioned from high stilettos to lower block heels. Also less sexy. That's progress. M&Ms will not be satisfied until every last cartoon character is deeply unappealing and totally androgynous. Until the moment you wouldn't want to have a drink with any one of them. That's the goal. When you're totally turned off, we've achieved equity. They've won.
Now, since we're talking about Tucker Carlson, Americans are losing it after seeing what Tucker Carlson paid for groceries in Russia.
So we're going to try and buy what a family of four would buy every week, and we're going to see what the selection is, and we're going to see what it costs. Now, Russia is famous for its bread, which is one thing I can assess pretty well. The low-carb lifestyle has not swept Russia. Thank heaven, because look at that. It's fresh, too. Look at that. Oh, come on. Unicorn and mini mills. All right. Some kind of Russian wheat cookies. Ooh, we need coffee, don't we? Yeah. I don't know if this is sugar or flour, to be honest with you, but it looks like a staple, so we should get it. It's a very good-looking package. It's got to be flour, right? And this is Russian wine. It's from Crimea, which not only has the warm water naval base, but also is the source of most of the grapes in this part of Russia for wine. So it's apparently pretty good. Cheese puffs. You check out of a grocery store and you've got gum, razor blades, and candy. Actually, they hide the razor blades because we steal them. But these are all seem to be Western products. Mars, Twix, Snickers, Milky Way, Bounty, Gillette, Hall's Cough Drops, Mentos. It's pretty non-sanctioned to me, but what do I know? I went from amused to legitimately angry. So we were guessing what this would cost. Everybody hears from the United States, buys groceries, and we didn't pay any attention to costs as we were just putting in the cart what we would actually eat over a week. And we all came in around $400, about $400. It was $104 US here. And that's when you start to realize that ideology maybe doesn't matter as much as you thought. Corruption. If you take people's standard of living and you tank it through filth and crime and inflation, and they literally can't buy the groceries they want, at that point, maybe it matters less what you say or whether you're a good person or a bad person. You're wrecking people's lives in their country. And that's what our leaders have done to us. And coming to a Russian grocery store, the heart of evil, and seeing what things cost and how people live, it will radicalize you against our leaders. That's how I feel anyway, radicalized.
Meanwhile, in the US, groceries have become so expensive that they're locking up steaks with security wires and alarms at Walmarts.
Y'all doing Walmart so bad, they gotta lock their steaks up, boy. They not playing with y'all now. $45 for a steak, and they locking them motherfuckers up tight. What y'all done did to Walmart?
Speaking of steaks, a doctor just issued a terrifying warning about mad cow disease. Now people are scared to even touch meat.
So this is arguably the scariest medical condition that we know of as doctors. Prions are the most contagious thing that we know of as doctors. It's not a bacterium, it's not a virus, it's not a fungus. What is it? It's a misfolded protein that is incredibly contagious and deadly. And for example, like mad cow disease, Creutzfeldt-Jakob disease, that is a type of a prion disease. There's different types. And I did come in contact once with a patient that has prion disease. And unfortunately, people who get this condition effectively pass away within a certain amount of time. Like a few months go by, and there's nothing you can do other than supportive care for these patients. And eventually they pass away. But once they pass away, You can't just go into the room where they were and just clean everything. It's not how it works. That patient's room, I remember everything was basically discarded. And I remember that was the scariest patient I've ever taken care of. And doctors are terrified of prions.
This couple just got married inside of a McDonald's, and the internet is melting down over it.
We are gathered here today to witness the union of George and Jamie. Welcome, friends and family. We're glad to have you here with us. Today is the beginning of a remarkable journey for this couple.
She got her period in the middle of a marathon. She refused to drop out or quit, continued the race, and finished. And here's the wildest part. She still had to run another 5 miles after she started bleeding. Some people are stunned by her resolve. Others say she should have stopped. What do you think? Terry Crews reveals just how bad his porn addiction became after binge watching it for 12 hours straight.
It was, I got a day off from the set. I'm usually on location, and I could watch porn from probably 10 o'clock after my workout, 10 a.m. to 11 p.m. at night.
10 a.m. to 11 p.m. at night.
It wouldn't stop, and I couldn't stop. It was what you would call a splurge. Like it just couldn't stop. I couldn't. When day turns into night and you're still watching, I knew I had a problem.
Terry Crews isn't the only one who has tried to expose the dark side of this industry. Before they labeled him as a crazy man, Kanye West shared his own porn addiction story, telling how a single magazine ruined his life.
Different layers to trafficking. Like for me, Playboy was my gateway into full-on pornography addiction. My dad had a Playboy left out at age 5. And it's affected almost every choice I made for the rest of my life from age 5 to now having to kick the habit. And it just presents itself in the open, like it's okay. And I stand up and say, you know, it's not okay.
Doctors just changed the definition of normal blood pressure again, and people are confused. Back in the 1970s, 160 over 95 was considered acceptable. Then it dropped to 140 over 90. Now the target is even lower. So what happened? Did our bodies suddenly change? And more importantly, is high blood pressure actually causing more deaths? Or is it just a symptom of something deeper going wrong inside our bodies?
110/70 is now optimal, and anything higher is dysfunction, which is catastrophic, and I'll prove it. So systolic big number, diastolic small number. We don't have to get into anything else. So 2018 Lancet, 1 million adults found no increased mortality at 150/100, systolic over diastolic, 0. But at 110/70, all right, let's look. 2020 American Journal of Hypertension showed increased all-cause mortality. Here's what really increases blood pressure: systemic inflammation, insulin resistance, and mitochondrial dysfunction. So let's rock and roll. Insulin resistance forces kidneys to retain sodium. Basic physics, water follows sodium osmotically. Plasma volume increases, blood thickens like syrup, which increases resistance and pressure rises. Biology did exactly what it's supposed to: maintained fluid balance in response to faulty signaling. The disease is insulin resistance. High blood pressure is the compensation. Let's keep going. Nitric oxide, produced by the endothelium, and its job, tell vessels to relax and open up. Chronic inflammation produces reactive oxygen species. Superoxide is the worst one. It oxidizes the cofactor that eNOS needs to function. This is called eNOS uncoupling. Uncoupled eNOS doesn't make nitric oxide, it makes more superoxide. Arteries become rigid, more inflamed, and biology raises pressure to force blood through the rigid pipes. The disease is endothelial dysfunction. High blood pressure is survival. And vascular smooth muscle cells need ATP to relax. No ATP, no relaxation. Vascular cells are exhausted and can't pump calcium out. Muscles stay contracted and vessels stay constricted. If you have normal endothelial function, mitochondrial function, and insulin sensitivity, meaning you've measured these things, then elevated blood pressure isn't pathological, it's compensatory. But how many doctors are measuring mitochondrial ATP capacity, endothelial function, testing vascular reactivity using flow-mediated dilation tests, or running continuous glucose monitors? None. They're treating numbers. 2012 circulation proved diastolic below 70 reduced coronary perfusion and increased myocardial infarction risk. 2004 Kidney International proved 110 systolic with any kidney disease accelerated renal decline. 2018 Neurology proved systolic below 110 increases dementia risk. Why is that? Inadequate cerebral perfusion. So your 75-year-old mother with rigid calcified vessels might need 150/90 to keep her brain, heart, and kidneys perfused. It's not pathological hypertension. It's compensatory physiology keeping her alive. The INVEST trial 2003 JAMA showed exactly what they're trying to bury. If pressure is too low, your mortality goes up. 2016, JAMA analyzing 1.3 million patients. The lowest cardiovascular event rate occurred at 139/89. Hypertension is biology's solution to systemic inflammation, insulin resistance, and dead mitochondria. Fix those and the symptom resolves. Comment alive for the research. Everything you need is in there. I've got to go. Never miss.